welcome to this week's Unikernel Application Spotlight. This week we are looking at Apache TinkerPop's Gremlin, specifically the Gremlin server. So I'm actually kind of surprised we did not have this. This has been around for a while, and I could have sworn I made a package for this at one point in the past, but I didn't find it. So went ahead and made one because I was actually looking at this other piece of software that does visualizations on top of this, and I might do a video of that in the future, but it turned into something else where I wanted to focus on this first. Anyways, so what exactly are we talking about here? TinkerPop basically is a suite of software first and foremost, and it's designed for graph processing, both on OLTP, transactional style databases, and also OLAP. And so, as I mentioned, it's been around for a while, but it's gotten a lot of traction mainly because of how extensive it is. There's some problems that fit really nice into graphs. Especially when it comes to the financial sector and some other sectors. But what's really interesting about Gremlin was, and I think they even talk about it on this page somewhere. Let me try to find it. Yeah, is this host language embedding. Basically, like, you can do these queries through the console or through some other tool, and that's great, right? But you can also, have dialects that are variants that are core to a language. So if you do a lot of Python, they have stuff that's just Python native. If you do Scala, stuff that's Scala native. And that makes it like super, super easy to use. Obviously, if it's a problem that you're using that does graph traversals, that's a great fit. It's such a great fit that Amazon has its own fork called Neptune, and so do many other. I think Google has a fork, and all these other forks exist. But yeah, Apache TinkerPop. This is one of the. I don't know if this is the main repo. I think it is, but it could be like a mirror. I don't know for sure. Anyways, so obviously the reason we're doing this video is because we made a unikernel package out of it. So you can go ahead and download it from here. Let's go ahead and pull that up. So we pop into our shell. We're gonna go ahead and load up our package. It's more or less instant, right? And then what we're gonna do, I downloaded the Gremlin console just to kind of play around with it, so we can kind of pop that open to show you it in action. So it goes ahead and connects. You can throw off on this if you want, and lots of different ways to configure this. But this is the easiest, most brain dead way. And then we can go ahead and create a graph from our factory. We've got 6 vertices, 6 edges. Now you might remember from some of your data structure interviews or study prep or something, how graphs work. And so the exact same principles here. And so you can do a traversal with this embedded, and then you can kind of say, hey, is there a name with a vadas? So this was just a kind of example graph that they kind of include. But it's really easy to kind of make your own stuff and find relationships and figure out how close things are, and also to traverse and query via this. Now, when you think about compare and contrast to something like SQL, graph problems get really hard with SQL, because then you start doing all this nesting, and sometimes that's in application code, and sometimes it's in SQL, and it's really kind of hard to mess with. This is precisely what Gremlin is really good at. And there's like actually a whole set of software in this ecosystem, not just different software, but for Gremlin and TinkerPop in particular, there's different other pieces of software that fit into the ecosystem, because it's so heavily extended. But for this purpose, for today's video, we're just showing you how to run Apache TinkerPop Gremlin as a unikernel. So till next time.